Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to the stream. It's me, Digi. Welcome back to Assetto Corsa, more specifically the Shutoko Revival Project map. This is a representation of parts of the Japanese highway system in Tokyo and Yokohama. We are driving the Porsche Rough 87, which is basically a 911 Turbo, I believe, in the 930 body style or chassis. Just warming up. Not the fastest car, but I might be. Actually, no, not even the most vintage car. The 1969 Datsun Z is way older than this car is. But I do like driving the Porsche. Some people like driving it, some people don't. I have come to really enjoy driving this car, and there's literally nothing else that I want to spend my time in right now. I do have my chat window in a place where I can glance over more easily than usual, but sometimes the concentration really just kind of sucks you in. But yeah, like I said before, this is the Shutoko Revival Project map mod for Assetto Corsa, and it's definitely one of the mods you can get. I know there's different map mods that are out there. I haven't experimented with any others. Mostly because I like driving on the roads in Japan too much, but there's supposed to be a kind of like California Hills mod where you can basically drive on, I think, Mulholland Drive, and probably more than a few others, maybe even New York City, but I haven't found anything about how to download that. And I mean, I don't drive with like, the most expensive setup. I have a computer that, can run this well enough, but I don't have a steering wheel. I have a gamepad. It's taken me literally taken me the better part of like 2 years to figure out how to really drive this car well. You have to flex so much patience with the gamepad because if the limited range of motion with the little joysticks on your gamepad basically means you are driving a hypersensitive steering wheel. But It just makes it that much more satisfying to drive when you get it right. When when you drive on this track long enough, you start to pick up on the spots where you can really speed up and where you have to watch yourself. Because if you try to take every corner at top speed, you're going to find out pretty quick that you just can't do that. But if you learn, you can take corners really well. And if you learn really well, you can learn the techniques to get you through corners at even faster speeds. And basically, just really, really have a more enjoyable racing experience. I'm doing what I usually do when I come onto the server, which is basically do a couple of spins through here and then basically go down the Bayshore route all the way down to like Yokohama and back because I like doing long distance hauls. And I mean, Yokohama is technically down the road, but it's not something a place you'd get to in like 15 minutes. It's going to take you a little while to drive, or a very big while to drive. At literally, you know, utterly unconscionable speeds, you could make it down there in like about 7, 8 minutes. So I'm assuming at basic, you know, law-abiding speeds, you'd basically be there in about 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and a half at worst. But I don't always like to be at top speed. I kind of do like to take my time in spots. And this is an area where if you're not careful, the curve will basically, throw you right up against the guardrail. Wow, lots of traffic tonight. Well, I mean, there is a map mod, so basically there's lots of traffic virtually all the time because they added a traffic mod to the server, which basically simulates the lunacy of actually trying to do this in real life. Obviously, this is not something that you would do because things, but I'm uh, I'm grateful to be able to drive even a digital Porsche, so there's that. We're about to cross a few tunnels that are going to take us through Haneda International Airport. It's quite cramped in here. And it is sometimes very hard to see some of the traffic cars until you are literally about to run across them. Because some vehicles either have very dimly lit tail lights, or it almost feels like they don't have any. The little sandbar trucks being one of them. Hey, there goes another one. This is fun to do, if for no other reason than just unload. I did say on my Discord that I was going to be taking some time off to prep for an upcoming deal, but Mrs. Digi had a heart to heart with me, and she basically said, "Look, you really need to take care of yourself. Go spend time talking to your friends. Don't do the dumb thing of like." And I'm not saying she said this. I'm just saying I'm just like basically thinking out loud. Like it's not that prepping for important things in life is a bad idea. It's just that when you turn your brain into a pretzel, metaphorically speaking, and you try to get everything done immediately, you get to this place where you start to get unhealthy quick. So I'm taking her advice, chat. I'm slowing down a little bit more. Unfortunate. I had some people that I care about that got around me and gave me some advice. So I'm gonna take their advice and rest and do the best I can when I go back to work tomorrow. And that's it. Right, let's merge back into traffic because driving on the berm is really risky. I kind of have to drive with my high beams on because it's difficult to see traffic in certain parts of night and on certain roads. Okay, about to cross a couple bridges, or just one if I want to keep it. If I want to just go past the parking area. Not that you can pull off to the parking area here, but it would have been cool to do so. And the fastest time I've ever tracked for trying to get down to Yokohama from Tokyo was, I think, like 6 minutes 5 seconds. I kind of low key want to break that and set a new personal best. I don't think it would be a world record by any stretch of the imagination. You could probably go way faster on a server that has no traffic. Actually, I know you could. Let's go here. We went to Yokohama yesterday. And then over to your right is that descending spiral that takes you down to um, Daikoku and the parking area. And I think you literally cannot just walk up to it. Like you literally have to be in a vehicle to get there. Which as somebody that lives in the States, and I just think about like gas stations and normally publicly accessible areas, it seems strange. I guess the mental equivalent would be going to getting on like a highway, getting on like a toll road, like say the New Jersey Turnpike or the Garden State Parkway, and and basically pulling into a service area. And basically, if you're in a state or you're in a country where the roads have these service areas like every, you know, 40, 50 miles, you basically have areas where you can pull up and get gas and get food and top up your car. But you can't access those service areas from, from outside the highway. And usually the restriction is that you literally have to stay on the toll road. Like you can't just get on the toll road there because there's no entrance from like surface streets. So I guess that's the point of, or not really the point, but the limitation of not being able to normally access the parking area at Daikoku Futo. Right, gotta watch out because we're coming up on a curve here. I'm driving with smooth, rational purpose at irrational speed, so figure that one out. Oh, here comes the curve. Way at the curve, we're going to slow down significantly, probably like 170, 160. Bink. Well, didn't completely wipe out, but that would be a crazy incident bill. Not to mention a trip to the hospital. Also shows you how quickly you can come upon traffic in this sim. Now, the last time that we were on this highway, we merged back onto the Bayshore route. I'm going to go ahead and go a different way just so you see how this road wraps up. I'm not going to have a valid time per se because of my incident earlier, but I'm going to take the K1 all the way back up to the C1, which is basically the beltway for downtown Tokyo. And since I know I'm not going to have a perfect time, I can show you guys what one of the other parking areas looks like. And they have probably quite a few places you can go to get some a quick snack or two. One of multiple parking areas in this map. Now we're going to go ahead and drive past a train. Kind of hard to see at night. So I like driving on the highway at night. There's the merge in from the Bayshore route. And we have the train on the right. I don't see any train on it right now, though. There's a train station off to our right. And that's pretty much it. That's the K1. The K1's going to merge into the C1. Hey Lyles, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. We're just enjoying some more time in Japan. Just taking the Porsche out for a spin. Whoopsies. Huh. Hit the divider. Well, that would have been me. But thankfully, no damage, no tire wear, and I rolled right back up. The roads are narrow, though. You really do have to mind your positioning. And there are plenty of places to go driving in. This is good. You can actually race other multiplayer opponents here. I don't know what my streak is, as I suspect it's not good. My record, I would say, my win-loss record. But I mean, I enjoy driving this car way more than trying to be anywhere near a legitimate or serious competitor. Great night for a drive. The closest experience I've had to, spending as much time as I have around so many skyscrapers was when I spent several years around New York City. But I mean, I don't even feel like, well, actually, no, I take that back. There are highway interchanges in New York City that are kind of impressive if you know what to look for. There's a junction of two interstate highways, Interstate 87 and Interstate 95, which I think has something like somewhere between a 100 to a 200 foot like altitude change. It seems silly, but basically I-95 crosses from Jersey into Manhattan and the Bronx, and the place it does it, it just kind of cuts through this area where you basically drive under some apartment buildings, and then when you come out of Manhattan on the other side and you're about to go into the Bronx, you're like, I would easily say a couple 100 feet up in the air. So Interstate 87 is on the Bronx side, and it's like, just like 10 feet off the ground, 20 feet off the ground. So there's like a complex, not a complex, but basically a, a well lifted system of on ramps and off ramps that basically you just like twist and turn and go all over the place to get onto the highway. see where those hooks are going. I'm surprised I'm keeping up. Traffic, what are you gonna do? Okay, they're going back on the C1 inner. I'm gonna go ahead and make a right turn. And we were just under there about like 3 minutes ago. Oof, that was a load of lag. Sometimes it really is nice just to cut loose for a little bit. If only for a little while. Yeah, I think the lag spikes are kicking up. I might make this my last run. I know it's been like a super short stream, but I might get up and stretch, eat some fruit, drink some water, and then really just chill out. But oh, all right. Well, been a nice little run tonight. Emphasis on the little, but basically got my kicks with the rough 87, basically the Porsche 911 Turbo. And this is Assetto Corsa. The map mod is called Shutoko Revival Project. There's also something you have to get called the Japanese DLC, Japanese car pack. And then you go look up Shutoko Revival Project online, and then you have to, I think, sign up for their Discord, and they give you the car download, the track download, and you basically you get all that stuff sorted, and then you can come into this into the server. But there's several things you have to get. You have to get the scenery and the car mods. You have to install them correctly, and then you have to get, I think, a an installer, or not installer, something called a content manager, to be able to launch straight into the multiplayer server. But pretty good run tonight. I think that's gonna do it for me. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I chill. Folks, have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Like I always like to say at the end of all my streams, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. And until next time, bye. Oof, I was yawning. Until next time, we will see you. Bye bye.